Hey there viewers, and welcome back. Today I want to take a look at taking these jugs off. So you have one bolt on each jug and the same 4 nuts, different size of course as the GX-630 crowd. So really no more work. You don't have to pull your push rods out and your camshaft goes in all nice and zippy zap, easy, things like that. Just like what we had before. So I'm pretty sure that these jugs take a 12. Oh man, my 3-year memory. Wow. These jugs all take a 12 millimeter. So there is 110. Right here you can kind of see the little notch out where I'm pointing. There is 110 millimeter. Do not forget that, because you'll break that little tab right off. So let's go ahead and zip off these 4 nuts on each side. Like I said, I've had a kind of part before, so it's not the most, nothing's welded down like it may or may not be on your edition. Next, oh boy. Gotta get in here, the 10 millimeter open end. I'm just gonna break these loose. Oh man. Then, because this fit's kind of goofy, a great big extension. Almost need a 1/4 inch drive to sneak down in there. But anyway, there's the 2 fasteners that go with that. What we're going to do now, they give us some pry points here and here, but I think it's just easier to take a rubber mallet or a dead blow hammer usually and kind of get things moving. Maybe not. Might have to utilize. Oh no, that's broke loose. It's broke loose. It's gone. Just needs a little more persuasion. So that's loose all the way around. That's good. It is held on with some dowel pins, so it can be a little bit of a challenge once you break that silicone. I'm gonna go get my good pry driver from the shop. Inserting said pry driver, and then I'm going to do another one down here in the same spot. It's not that it's stuck, it's that we got to tear the silicone. So that's kind of what we're doing here. Might even be able to this is really glued on there, folks. There we go. I'm waiting for this thing to like shoot off or something. There we go. Okay. Just breaking the RTV is all we're doing. It's because the RTV is on the side of the cylinder liner. Okay. Wow. All right. Well, that was more work than it should have been. Maybe. Feels like a great time to put gloves on. Okay, so it's like, I'll show you here when we get this thing out. I'll show you why it's so tough. Somebody might have put too much RTV on this when they went together with it. Don't know, could have done that. Alright. So here is why this is so tough, because we got RTV. Come on, baby. We got RTV kind of gooped down along the side of the liner here, so that explains it. Okay, so now that our jugs are painstakingly removed, it is very important that we immediately, and I definitely mean immediately, reinstall the rod caps. So this guy here has the 2 dots. Let's see what this one's got. Okay, he got nothing. All right, so we're gonna put the 2-dot special. Wrong way, fella. Match him back up. Make sure you snap them together with your fingers before you tighten the bolts. We will do that with the other side as well. All right, folks, our next job is going to be to remove the flywheel key so that we can pull a crankshaft out, because I don't want to chew up the seal, because it's definitely going to chew up the seal at this point. So I got a little bit of a trick I want to show you, and that is because this is pressed in, we can get some punches by Starrett, not a sponsor. And we can simply go over here on one end of the key, like the very end, and tap it. And what that does is it, well, if you can't maybe see what it is doing, maybe now you can, is it kind of pops it up there for us so we can remove it. Then I like to grab it with this way with some vice grips. Okay, and then I can sneak under the vice grips. Hopefully you can kind of see that. And if we could tighten the vice grips, I hate these style vice grips. They are not my friend. Anyway, we can kind of pull that key out without it flying across the room. Stuff away. Now, we can wiggle jiggle the crankshaft out, and you see the two holes that are drilled on said crankshaft. The difference here between this engine and the 630 is, yes, the crankshaft is pressure fed, but we have a ball bearing in the end of the engine block, so you can kind of see that twirling. I think that's a nice touch, but what is, I don't know, for better or worse, I guess it's a ball bearing, but in the top here, while it looks like you have pressure lubrication, you don't. You have the breather, which is this guy right here. We took the hose off earlier, and I could look down inside the seal and see the balls in the bearing, so I guess it's kind of lubricated sort of like with splash. In the 630, the GX630 series, nothing was really splash lubricated. Everything had a pathway leading from the oil pump to the important parts. This one here is a little more like the GC series, the consumer series, the residential version, where it's predominantly splash lubricated. Pretty much the crankshaft is the only thing in it that's pressure lubricated. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it not lasting, but definitely just the weight of the block. This is a much lighter duty engine. Of course, what is it, 16 horsepower versus 23. So you get the general idea. Well, there you got it, folks. That is a clean, hollowed out engine block. So all that's left to do, I'm going to set it aside before we do the massive cleanup project, is we have cylinder jug disassembly, and we have cleaning of RTV off of said engine block. So I feel like there's fewer parts. And speaking of fewer parts, I am just going to cut in here real quick to remind you, you should have 2 dowel pins, one for each side per jug. Unlike the 630, they do not slide down over the studs, so that is a slight difference. But you'll have 4 of them total. I still can't get over the lopsidedness of this block. That 630 was a nice 90-degree V, the proper way. Anyway, so I've already cleaned up my block, and you may elect to do that now, or do that a little later. There is a lot, and by a lot, I mean a lot, of the scrape and peel that goes on with this motor. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.